Cassie Ventura is back on the witness stand today in the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial. The defense is trying to cast doubt on allegations Combs coerced her into partaking in and planning so-called freak-offs. Diddy denies the charges against him, and now the defense is trying to paint Ventura as a willing participant in his, quote, swingers lifestyle, and that violence was just a feature of their relationship. Rena Roy and ABC News legal contributor Shauna Lloyd are outside that courthouse. Thank you both. Rena, start us off with just what's the latest.
Yeah, well, Diane, first I just want to acknowledge you can probably hear some yelling out here. People are super invested in the case. They are fighting over whether they think Diddy is guilty or not. So a lot of people have eyes on this case. But inside the courthouse here, the defense is highlighting episodes of extreme jealousy and violence in this relationship. It seems defense attorneys are trying to show that this was a toxic relationship where violence often ensued because of bouts of jealousy, but not because Combs was trying to coerce Ventura into those sexual encounters. They've also tried to paint Combs as a drug addict. His lawyers revealed he overdosed on painkillers in 2012. They asked Ventura, were the worst years associated in any way with his drug use? And she said, yeah. So they are acknowledging that violence, as you said, and that toxicity, but say that doesn't mean he's guilty of sex trafficking. Diane?
Shauna, by all accounts, the jury was hanging on Cassie's every word when she was testifying and being questioned by the prosecution. How do you think the defense is now doing to try to counter some of what she said during that testimony?
Well, right now, we see the defense trying to bring in other evidence of things that they believe are going to point to reasonable doubt. They just had her testify about an incident where a video was given to one of the escorts, actually, took a video unknowing of them. They found out, and we can hear the aggression in her voice about the video getting out. The person that told her they watched it, you hear her very aggressively saying, I will kill you. And so the jury is very into this because they're seeing a different side of Cassie than what we're seeing on the stand with her very soft-spoken voice and demeanor.
Rena, what are we thinking in terms of timing here? Is there any sense of how long cross-examination is going to go? Because timing has become a big issue in this case, given how pregnant Cassie is.
Yeah, Diane, time is of the essence, and we keep hearing about the length of this cross-examination and how long it could take. Prosecutors and the judge, they are hoping that this wraps up today because, as we know, Cassie Ventura, she is 8.5 months pregnant. Federal prosecutors, they are concerned that she could potentially go into labor over the weekend, so they want this cross to wrap up so that prosecutors get their chance for their redirect. But the defense has been pretty disjointed and meandering in their cross-examination, as we've seen, so it's unclear if they'll actually be able to stick to that timeline.
Shauna, what are you watching for next?
What I'm looking for next is to see where the defense is going to take this. The judge has really kept them confined in time to make sure that they actually complete this by the end of day. So when are we going to get to the point where they are very concise and they're hitting the points that they're looking for? Because right now we've seen a lot of evidence go up that wasn't necessary. It was brought up and taken down. So that disjointedness that you were mentioning earlier, Rena, is still continuing. So we want to see this get much more tighter and concise.
All right, Rena Roy, Shauna Lloyd, thank you both.